plan for the mega fight with you and Crawford for 150?
If we can make it at that weight division, I mean, whatever weight division I'm at, if wherever we still boxing at the same time, let's do it. I'm down to fight any one of these motherfuckers. I ain't here for the money. I'm here to win. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, the money already here, and I got it already, and it's gonna come. Mo gonna come, but why would I get in the ring over, an injury? You know what I'm saying?
Terence Crawford has teased a potential fight with Jermell Charlo after Charlo's strong win over Canelo Alvarez. At the same time, Charlo said he is not trying to match Crawford's ring walk, even though fans keep comparing them. He shared that he almost had Lil Wayne perform for his entrance, and said he has been talking to a number of big artists hinting that something exciting could happen soon.
Actively fighting?
I don't know.
It's not something you think about? You're just going fight by fight? I always
take one fight at a time. One fight at a time. I feel great. I'm healthy, and like I said, I'm looking forward to having some fun.
Jermell Charlo added that Terence Crawford's callouts seem more promotional than personal. He said Crawford only began getting big fights after signing with PBC and receiving the backing he needed, like the bout with Errol Spence Jr. Charlo also mentioned that Crawford is now enjoying his moment in the spotlight and might be trying to take on more than he should.
To not fight again, you'd be undefeated at 42-0. Would that satisfy you?
If that was the decision that I made, my team made, for me to walk away, away from the sport, then of course I'll be, content and happy, because that's the decision that I made. I'm not gonna make something, that I'm not comfortable with. I had a great career. I've done some tremendous things in the sport of boxing. I made a lot of history. What can I not be proud of if I walked away from the sport right now? I don't have no regrets, because everything that I did it my way. So if I was to walk away from the sport right now, I wouldn't have no reason to hold my head down.
Charlo concluded that a matchup between him and Terence Crawford would be one of the biggest fights in boxing. He said both are top-level fighters, and their clash would show the sport's highest level of skill, power, and strategy.
If you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. He ain't even at 168. When you look
right now, it's at 175. Yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 no more. But when you look at these fights, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, say, all right, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off, But me personally, I believe in my skills and my ability. I could be anybody.
Max Kellerman said Terence Crawford should fight Jaron Ennis now if he truly plans to face him at all, because timing matters. He pointed out that Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez before Canelo hit his prime and suggested Crawford should do the same.
You heard Womack that he does not want Crawford to fight David Benavidez. So right now, I believe that we have a tough fight, man. November 22nd. I don't want to get ahead of my fight. And, we're super focused 100% on getting to Riyadh and making that fight happen and keep proving ourselves and show the people who David is. Let's see what happens after that. Like I said, I will tell you, though, that it will be easy because, we'll be fighting. If everything goes well, we'll take a couple of weeks off, and the weight will not be a problem because we will already there, kind of. So, at the end of the day, it's, my job as a manager is to get them the best fights and train them as a trainer. And, we want to make history, brother. So, and if the people want that fight and people think that that's a good fight, and if Womack and Terence Crawford want that fight, why not? We're here to please the fans. And
Eddie Hearn also stated that there is no bigger fight for Terence Crawford than facing Jaron Ennis, calling it a matchup that could be remembered as one of the best ever. He praised Crawford as the top fighter in the sport right now, but said that if he wants a real test, Jaron Boots Ennis is on his way.
Give them what they want. I think David's too big for Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford will be like 38 years old, It will not be the same as Canelo, man. We know David comes in and throws a lot of punches and put the pressure. And no disrespect to Terence Crawford, he's the best pound for pound. He's in the books to do history. He did something that nobody could do. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the Mexican monster, you know? David's young, strong, super big for Terence Crawford. And, you know, even Terence Crawford said that Kavalaskis or whatever hit harder than Canelo because the power's not there anymore. With David, it's a different story.
Jeff Mayweather said David Benavidez. Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis is the right move and would be a thrilling matchup. He added that both fighters have high-level skill and bring serious intensity, which would make the fight exciting to watch.
Same time, I mean, Benavidez is also the one guy that nobody's willing to fight. And if nobody's willing to fight him, that makes his value go up. And so the thing is that if you get the right guy that is willing to pay for that, and I mean I don't see him saying that, okay, well, we can't afford to fight this guy. So I mean, that fight can happen if it's a fight that I think Bud want to entertain.
And what if you're Canelo? I think the only thing you could possibly want is that rematch. You get that a little bit of that legacy.
Keyshawn Davis said he would like to see Terence Crawford fight Jaron Ennis, but feels Crawford is operating on a higher level. He compared him to Floyd Mayweather and suggested that a matchup with Ennis might not push or interest Crawford much at this stage of his career.
Terence Crawford against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We've just got to go out and get the fights to show how great he is.
Danny Garcia said a fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis would be massive, calling it a showdown between a hungry young contender and an established veteran who has already proven himself.
In a fight, Crawford, is this still a fight that you have interest in?
My main focus right now is October 11th. That's all I'm worried about. October 11th. I ain't worried about no outsiders. You know, I'm locked in. That's how when you don't pay attention to what you got in front of you and you think ahead, that's how, you know, things happen. You know, my main focus is October 11th. That's it.
Eddie Hearn said Terence Crawford will only fight Jaron Ennis if the money on the table is huge. He knows how dangerous Ennis is and pointed out that Ennis still needs to prove more, but said that as interest keeps rising, the fight will eventually become too big to avoid.